Good afternoon, my name is Manoj Soenath. I head up the Agro-Processing and Agriculture Strategic Business Unit of the IDC. The IDC is a development finance institution, and we provide loan funding as well as equity funding to projects that require finance in the agricultural space, but not just in the agricultural space, through a wide spectrum of industries such as chemicals, textiles, mining, tourism, industrial infrastructure, etc. I think the agricultural industry is an industry that is currently a hot topic in our country. It's an industry that's targeted at creating a lot of jobs as well as promoting inclusivity and transformation in the South African economy. The IDC provides finance to this industry, and as you know, to get anything started, finance is important. Finance is not the only important thing. There's a lot of other important things, especially in the agricultural space, such as land, water, the correct management, etc. But finance is definitely one of the important things in order to get projects off the ground. And in order for us to create the employment we want to create in the country, as well as inclusivity and transformation, I think it's imperative we develop the correct projects, we are able to fund them, and ensure that these projects are sustainable so that the jobs we create and the entrepreneurs that we create going forward are there well into the future and beyond, and not created for the short term. The IDC funds a lot in South Africa, but we are able to fund outside the South African borders as well. So we have projects throughout the African continent as well as in the SADC countries, projects in Mozambique, Tanzania, etc. So we're able to reach outside the South African borders as well. The IDC funds a large number of developments in the agricultural space as well as in other industries. Maybe I will not talk specifically about any specific one, but maybe a strategy that we are adopting at the moment. In South Africa, we have a large amount of land that has gone back to communities, and this land has been transferred to communities as well as together with water rights, etc. So as the IDC, what we are looking at is to see how we can partner with the communities as well as other technical partners to create a sustainable project on this land that has been transferred back to communities. Examples would be in high-value horticulture such as avocados, citrus, the various nut species, amongst other crops. I think it's common knowledge. The one thing we have to do as human beings, as well as animals, is eat. Breakfast, lunch, supper, and in between. So there's a need for one thing in the world, apart from water and oxygen, is food. And that's something we will always need. It also is important that a country is self-sustainable from a food security point of view. So at the starting point, we hope that to make every country self-sustainable from a food security point of view, so that in that way we eradicate poverty, we don't let people go to bed hungry, etc. But more important than that, a country also needs to capitalize on its niche. So, for example, in South Africa, if our niche is high-value horticulture, which is our citrus, our avocados, how do we capitalize on that? How do we say, we've gone to a certain base, we're good at it, how do we get bigger? How do we promote South Africa more into the global economy? But at the same time, in doing that, how do we take every citizen of this country together with us? How do we ensure that we have the communities, that we have youth, women, people who haven't been given the chance before to participate in business? How do we get them along to participate in business and grow the South African economy? I think Indaba's gone very well. I think what was one of the highlights for me was we had an IDC closed session this morning where, through facilitation by the organizers of Indaba, we had approximately, I think, 10 or 12 stakeholders in the room where we had very intimate discussions on the agricultural space. We talked about challenges in the space, we talked about what are the opportunities, what are some of the things that we can do to address the challenges, and who plays what role. And it was a good starting point for us to take forward. And I think the one thing being said, even though 10 or 12 might not sound like a lot, but I think every small bit that anyone can do towards improving the agricultural economy in South Africa is a start. And I think the message that I would like to leave everyone is if every person can play their small part in moving this economy forward in the agricultural space and in other sectors, bringing people along with them, bringing people who have not had the opportunity before to participate, we've got to start somewhere, and I think it lies with each and every one of us.